Hello everybody and welcome to my bay window. My name is Dee and I'm here to talk about, I guess, what I'm interested in this minute, which is a lot of things. I've been known to start projects and not finish them. I also collect plants. Specifically the aroid variety. Like this is my baby philodendron table over here. Lemonade is good. I like lemonade. Anyway, it's not just going to be about plants, but I have other interests as well. Like, for example, a couple years ago I invested in probably my biggest project ever, and that would be this house. This house is over 100 years old, and I felt like whenever I purchased it, I purchased a piece of history. It is a, let's say, 98% brick exterior, Victorian, and I fell in love with it as soon as I walked in the door. I knew it was going to be a lot of work, but I was more than willing to try. So the last project that I started were the floors, and that was a major endeavor. If any of you follow my Instagram, you'll see a video on there me talking about a rather large, very heavy, very powerful floor sander. And boy, was that thing aggressive. I got the sander and the edger, and they can basically just pull me across the floor. But I got done as much as I could. Most of the floors look absolutely gorgeous, even though they're bare wood right now. I'm really looking forward to staining and finishing these, hopefully as soon as possible. But the wood itself looks gorgeous. I'm not really sure what it is, but it's 100 years old, and the wood's probably discolored after hundreds of layers of different things have put on it. I mean, not hundreds, but yeah, they put a lot of stuff on this. This was carpeted in here with some really gross, cheap blue, I think it was, carpet, and it reminded me of turf, like that fake grass stuff, but it was blue and it wasn't as abrasive as turf, but that had to go. It was adhered to the wood, so I'm guessing it had been here for quite some time. The hallway, I ran into some issues in there where someone decided it was a good idea to carpet it, and then put that carpet over linoleum, and then put that linoleum over tile, and then tile over hardwood floors. So those hardwood floors are not even worth sanding. They're so destroyed from a century of stuff. So I'm just gonna end up tiling that again, and I mean, it's not what I wanted to do, but it's what I'm gonna do. But that's actually better than what I ran into upstairs. Upstairs, someone decided to paint the hardwood floors, and that paint isn't going anywhere. I'm not sure if it's lead based or if it's oil based, but it is there, and it is in there. It is not coming out. So the only other thing I can do is to get creative and do my own version of paint. I also refinished furniture, so I'm trying to take that aspect and flooring aspect and kind of mix them together, try and get something pretty and creative and something that I'm actually gonna like, so that I can actually walk around barefoot without having the hairs on the back of my neck stick up, because that's sort of what carpet does to me. Carpet's gross. Other people's skin cells have been in there and I don't like the idea. It's just gross. So, a century of people walking on it, people shedding on it. So, the idea kind of grosses me out. I need more lemonade. Some good lemonade. It's from those dark colored lemons. Anyway, that will probably be a lot of the content. This hobby slash obsession, plus this, plus whatever I do next. I was thinking next would be painting all the things. Although I'm starting to get used to the white. It really brings everything else out. Makes everything pop. Makes my paintings pop. It makes my plants pop. So I'm not opposed to the white as of right now, but I would like to have some color in my life. Literally everything in this house was painted white with a sprayer, and they weren't very good at it. So it's a little spotty in places. You can really tell when you scrub the walls, which definitely happened when I first moved in. I also got a lot of free shit. Just stuff. The guy I bought it from left stuff, and then the lady he bought it from left stuff. So there was just a lot of junk to just try and get rid of, and I'm still trying to get rid of some of that junk. It just doesn't go away. So yeah, that is my current life right now. I don't know how many of these I'm going to be able to do, especially now that we're starting to get into the warmer months in the northeast of the United States. It's starting to get warm, people are getting warm, people are getting insistent. Because when people are warm, they get grumpy. When they get grumpy, they take it out on me because they want to be cool. And I'm one of those people that make people cool if I can. Sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. Although I did recently change jobs. I don't know how far into that I want to go. I went from being residential HVAC technician, problem solver, salesperson to something that's a little more industrial, but less drama. And it wasn't what you would think either. Like, I actually got along very well with the homeowners, and a lot of them had me back every year, twice a year, for their tune-ups slash checks, checking furnace, air conditioner, and they would request me, so I had no issues with the homeowners whatsoever for the most part. Like, you know, dealing with the public, you always run into one or two bad seeds, but for the most part, most of the homeowners I dealt with were extremely kind, very accommodating, unless they were hot. When people are hot, they get a little grumpy, they get a little perturbed, which I guess I can sort of understand. The heat doesn't really bother me so much. I can deal with it. I actually think I would have more fun and be more comfortable if I lived a little further south because of the warm weather and less winter. Maybe someday I can go down there, but you know, I have this project to keep me busy until then. This giant house project, which pretty much absorbs a lot of my time. If I'm not working, I'm working. But soon I'm gonna be working a lot more because it's gonna be like 90 degrees and people are gonna want their air conditioners working and they're gonna want to be cool. Even if I don't do residential anymore, I'll probably still do side work because people still call me for that, even if I don't happen to work at my last company anymore, which there was a lot of, I guess, problems while I was there, and it wasn't that I didn't like my job. I actually loved the work that I did. I loved my homeowners. I loved making people comfortable. I loved the constant learning of the job. I just couldn't do that particular life anymore. Maybe I'll get into more of that at a later date, but as of right now, it's probably still a little raw for a lot of people. So until then, we are going to talk about positive, happy things, good vibes only right now. So right now, I think the closest one I have right now is this gorgeous guy. I mean, look at that. And I actually think it might be starting to mature on me, which is fine. I like the mature shape of the hastatum. I also like the juvenile form of it. I think both forms look fantastic, and honestly, no picture does this plant justice. This plant actually, this silver sword, philodendron hastatum. I just said it and I forgot it. Oh my god. Anyway, silver sword, philodendron. When it matures, these leaves start to change shape a little bit, and it looks like it's starting to do that a little bit. Whenever it's not mature, it has these gorgeous, not just oval point leaves. And there's no camera in the world that can do this plant justice. If you were to look at this, you would see it literally shimmers in any light. It's an absolute gorgeous plant, and if you can ever get one, I recommend it. This one is actually from Gabrielle Plants. Never ever ever had a bad experience with them. They've always been great, and I've always gotten wonderful plants from them, so I highly recommend that site. And don't mind this, it's just damaged in transit, which happens when you order plants online. But I am running out of time, so I'm gonna get off of here. I hope you enjoyed what bit of content you got today. I am actually very tired. I worked some overtime today because customers be hot. They want their cold. So, yeah. I hope you guys have a good evening, and I hope you have a good day tomorrow. Thank you for your time, and thank you for checking this video out. Right, you have a good night. Bye.